Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Value in My Toy Collection. In this episode, I'm actually on location. Actually, we're on vacation in Orange Beach, Alabama, and we're staying at the Phoenix condo unit, and it's really nice, but I really love to come down here just for some solitude. I don't like to do much. The only thing I really like to do is go to all the thrift stores they have here, and they have a ton of them. Now here's our pretty view from our balcony at the condo. We were staying down here about 5 days, and we brought our baby girl Daisy on her first vacation, and she's been excellent so far. Now, I got to start the day off. Our friends made us this delicious breakfast. I felt like I was at some restaurant breakfast buffet. It was so great. But it's a good way to start the day before we head to the thrift stores. The first one we went to is called America's Thrift Stores, and I really enjoy this thrift store because, as you know, I collect toys, and in the back they just have bags and bags of toy deals. But this day we went, they didn't have a ginormous selection of toys. They just had a few, but I was still able to find a couple treasures, so I'm going to show you what all I picked up. Now, I always like to look through these first aisles of the bric-a-brac and stuff, but they were a little bit expensive. Now, I looked through the Christmas bags, like the ornaments, to see if I could find any vintage stuff, because they're only $2.99 a bag, but I couldn't find anything good. Now, here's the back of the store where they have the bags of toys. So they had several to choose from, but they didn't have a lot of collectible stuff that I was really looking for. Sometimes I will buy a $2.99 bag of toys for one good toy inside, and then I'll sell the rest at our flea market booth or something. But I did pick up a couple bags, and I think I spent $23 at this particular thrift store. Now, I already had several of these toys that I did pass over. This bag kind of looked good. It had one of those talking, I think, Pets Alive parrots, but I did not get that. Now, I did see this bag with two Monster High dolls in it for $2.99, so I did grab that one. I know they're worth more than $1.50 each, and especially if they're rare. Had all kinds of dolls. I had one of those cavemen dolls, but I already had him. I left him for someone else to enjoy. So, as you can see, you just have to look and dig and see what you can find. Like, here was a bag of doll furniture. I didn't need it, so I left it behind. And then I saw in the very back they had a Gabby's Dollhouse doll. I thought she was a good deal for $2.99 and had a second doll in there. Now, they have shelves of loose toys. I almost got this little Bluey case, but I did end up getting this Peppa Pig case. She just needs to be cleaned up. I usually don't buy too much plush because we have so much of it, and it's not worth a fortune or anything. But I thought this was a Sally doll from the Peanuts, but she's actually Emily Elizabeth from Clifford the Big Red Dog. Paid $2.99. She's worth about $12. And then I did get a couple of those bags with the dolls in them that I'm going to open up in just a few seconds. And I found this really cool Disney Pixar Cars. It was $2.99, and that's worth about $10. I'm keeping that. I found this Golden Flakes SEC football mug for $1.99. I'll sell this at our flea market booth and probably get about $12 for that. Found this Peppa Pig case. It was $2.99. It's worth about $8. Sell these two Monster High dolls for $15 and the Barbie for $3. I'll keep the Miraculous doll. She's worth $10. And then keeping Gabby. She's worth about $8. And next up, we went to the Waterfront thrift store. Now, this one's huge. It's one of my favorites in Orange Beach. It's really clean and organized. But they just brought up this giant bin of toys. And I was really excited about it because I was one of the first ones to go through it. But all their toys were priced $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, $6.99. They were a little bit pricey, but I did find a couple good things that I ended up getting because even though they were a little high, they were still a good deal considering what they were actually worth. Now, I'm actually considering to go back there Monday before we leave, to go back home, because they would have put all this stuff out. And I would like to see what was all in the bottom of this big bin because it was huge. Now, unfortunately, where we live, we don't have any of the Goodwill bin stores like a lot of the people shop at and whatnot, and they're able to sell their toys so cheap. So I just take them where I can get them. And like I said, these were a little bit pricey, but I just picked out what I wanted. I almost got that Ninja Turtle, but I didn't know how old he was. I didn't have my glasses to read the bottom of his feet or back. Look, they had an old Speak and Spell for $5.99, but I have that. They had this old crochet doll for $9.99. I did not get her. I did take a risk and get one of their grab bags at the counter. They were $2.99, and it had a car taped on the front. So I was like, let me just chance it. I'm going to open it up and show you what I got. Got this big golden keepsakes porcelain doll where she's holding this bubble. And I can't find her anywhere on eBay what she's worth, but she was $9.99 at the store. I thought this was a Bratz doll. I think I'm going to get her, but she's a TY doll. And then there's a little dress. This is just a fresh doll. It's not Fresh Beats. It's just like the Fresh Squad. And then I found this Ariel Mermaid like bubble blower. It came from the Disney parks. It was $6.99, but I'm going to get it. Sometimes I get the Barbies that have the printed swimsuits on. Here was I think that's an OMG doll. And then I got a Baby Yoda that makes sounds and stuff. And I think I'm going to get this bag with 2 more OMG dolls. Now, this is what was in the grab bag. It's a little telescope, a little caterpillar. I'll keep the caterpillar. And then a little blue car that was taped on the bag. I'll put that at our flea market. This was cool. It's a Ninja Turtle Splinter car. A little die-cast car. And then there was another one. I think that's Teen Titans or Marvel. And it's metal. And these little keychains, I saw these on eBay. They sell for about $5 each. So the stuff I'm going to keep out of the bag's worth about $8. And the stuff I'm going to sell at our flea market booth, I can get about $13. That's not bad for just spending $2.99 for a grab bag. Now again, here's the golden keepsakes doll. She was $9.99. I can't find her anywhere on eBay, but I figure she's worth at least $25. She could be worth a lot more than that since I can't find her, but I am going to keep her, I think, and just value her at about $25. Had a couple of those OMG dolls in the bag. The one in the blue with her complete outfit's worth $15, and the other one's worth $8. Had this little Baby Yoda that makes sound and moves. He was $3.99, and he's worth about $12. And then that Ariel bubble blower from the Disney parks was $6.99, a little pricey for a thrift store, but it's worth about $20 to $22. I thought this was Bratz, but she's a TY Gem and Jenna doll, and she was $2.99, worth $10. This fresh doll, Carissa, is worth about $10 loose, and the little swimsuit doll was $1.99. She's worth about $5, and the little braided blue-haired OMG doll is worth about $15. All right, next up, I went to a thrift store called the Big Fish Thrift Store. Now, I found something here a long time ago, a giant tote of Power Rangers for $8, and I ended up selling those for over $200 once I rebagged them individually. But unfortunately, I didn't really find anything here today. I think I spent $1.50. Everything was picked over. The few things that were there weren't that good, like this plush was just so loose and flimsy. I did not get him. I found a Stretch Armstrong, and I was going to get, but when I tried to pull him, he's all like hard and brittle and just not going to work. So I had to leave him behind as well. So I wanted to dig a little bit, but they just didn't have much to dig through. I saw a couple pieces of like wooden furniture here for a doll. It was just $1 each, and I could have gotten that, but I wouldn't have gotten but about $3 each for it at our booth. I did end up getting this little bouquet. I saw these at Valentine's where they had plush in it, and it was 25 cents. I'm going to put something in it. I got an aquarium flower for my SpongeBob collection, and I got a PJ Masks car for $1, probably worth about $4. Then we went to the Holy Spirit thrift store. I love this little thrift store. It's got so much good stuff. I found this 1980 Six Flags collectible plastic plate, and it was in their case up front, so I thought it's going to be really expensive. And I didn't know much about it, but I love Six Flags memorabilia. It was only $3. And when I looked it up, it was worth $25. So I'm going to say realistically $20. This little I'm a big deal mug was $2. I'm going to sell that at our booth for $6.50. This was all in the free box. This M ornament, it was free. I'll sell it for $3. This necklace, maybe $1 or $2. It was in the free box. This little ornament I'll sell for about $1. It was in the free box. And keeping this little vintage koala bear clip-on, he was in the free box, worth about $3. This little colorful Scooby-Doo was $1. He's worth about $4. Keeping that. And then we got this little rubber duck from the Sugar Factory, and it was 50 cents, probably worth about $2. Sometimes I like to collect little rubber ducks. All right, the little Blippi helicopter figure was 25 cents, and he's worth about $5. I just got to get a magic eraser and get those prices off, they write them on with a marker. This was 50 cents. I'll sell it at our booth for about $4. This little Bigfoot truck was 50 cents. I'll sell it for about $2 at our booth. I don't try to make a fortune off of it. This is from 1980. It was 50 cents. I'm keeping it. It's worth about $15 because it's metal. And then here's a metal USPS mail truck, 50 cents. And I'll sell that for about $3 or $4, probably $4 at our booth. These socks were $2 and they had a $15 price tag on them. So I'll sell those at our booth for about $6.50. They are pretty cool. Then they had these two big bags of figures. They were only $3 each, so I picked those up. And then these loose dolls for 50 cents. I'll sell those for $6. So these are, after I went through the bag of figures, these are the ones I'm going to keep. And some of them are worth $3 and $4 each. But just to make this an easy video of myself, I'm going to say all these good figures are just $2 each. So the ones I'm going to keep are going to be worth about $26 if I valued them at just $2 each. And like I said, a couple of them are worth a little bit more than that. And then the figures I'm not going to keep are this little stack because there's a duplicate and just ones I don't need. And I can sell those for $4. So we decided to go to lunch at GT's on the Bay because they were pet friendly. And we had our dog Daisy with us and had a great time. This was such a good place to go. The staff was so friendly. The food was delicious. Had lunch specials for just $10. Had little, it's not an aquarium, but they had fish floating around in this little pool inside. And there's my girl Daisy going to her very first restaurant. She was popular. Everybody wanted to pet her. This is the big pizza I got for lunch for just $10. And then we went back to the condo, and here is Ray with Daisy on the balcony. So with our previous 476 videos of value in my toy collection, our total was $1,232,461. And now with all the cool thrift store toys I found that I'm going to keep, those are worth $258. Now I only spent $88 for the whole day. And out of that $88, the ones I'm going to sell are worth $81. So I basically got all of my stuff today for $7. Now, when you add that to our grand total, our overall total now is $1,232,719. That's what my toy collection is worth so far. I'm opening up a toy museum. I'm putting all my toys there. They're going to be located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. Now, just remember, I'm no millionaire. I grew up poor, and I've just been saving toys all my life, going to thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets, and just looking for toys online, and it's just grown to this big old total. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos as much as I am making them. I like to see what I have and what it's actually worth. You can find us online on Facebook, and we're called the Toy Vault of Mississippi. So again, thanks for watching. If you like our channel, please feel free to subscribe because it certainly helps us grow. So until our next video, we will see you then.